afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for May 23rd, Saturday, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern. Just a heads up for all Tradera folks. We'll have the link for the call that we did yesterday up sometime today. And that'll be on the Tradera section of the website. That was on the front page. weareonelightforall.net. Bear with me here a minute. One of the biggest challenges for each of us is to move beyond that which we view. Move beyond from that which we view, and which means everything outside of us and how we look at it, how we interpret it, and how we bring it in, and what it does to us. Picture this way. Try to visualize it in your heart minds. When you see fireworks in the night sky, and you see all the glitter and all the colors and the bright lights, and how you're in awe of the beauty, the color, and the reflection, and how it affects you through your sight, your vision. Now imagine if the only way you could see anything is if you went within the heart mind, and you would visualize it through the heart mind. This is similar to what we are, our actual joy and our bliss and our peace and our love and our gratitude, and experience it like you would as you watch the fireworks up in the night sky, except you're not seeing anything, you're feeling it. If we went by feeling, motion, and it's not, see, the ego mind interrupts it. It literally churns up emotion, and most of the time it's a lower frequency, and whatever we choose to embrace or to pull into us, to create into reality, it always connects to the emotion through the heart mind. This is why when we have fear, anxiety, or stress, we realize that, and we come to the full conclusion, the reason that we have this, and it continues. You ever notice this? Sometimes it continues for a long time, this anxiety and stress and fear. And we begin to realize is that we build upon it. So the ego mind, of course, is never satisfied, so it brings this in continuously. Different situations and scenarios, they come in and they exacerbate the whole emotion emotions of what you're feeling and what you're thinking and your attitude about everything. And it catapults it. It goes lower and lower and lower, and it gets heavier and heavier and heavier. And so many of us, we get caught up in that, and we don't realize that we're doing it to ourselves. We don't see, we get so emotionally bound up that we don't know that we're actually creating it for ourselves each step of the way. And that the ego mind is sitting there, literally feeding it more and more. And people say, well, why can't we just, then if that's the case, then if I'm in joy and bliss and I can continue to have the ego mind send more joy and bliss. Unfortunately, the ego mind usually chooses negativity and feeds upon it. So the more negativity that we experience, the more the ego mind wants us to experience negativity. Have you ever noticed that? It's like when you're jealous, or you feel like you're watching someone and you get that feeling of how do you put it? When someone does something, they're all excited, and then you have others will say, I'm so happy for you, and that's wonderful and everything. But then you have those that say that but don't believe it because they're envious of that person's happiness or joy or what they're experiencing, celebration or whatever. That's the ego mind kicking in. The ego mind is when we feel, okay? Because remember, it's dictating to the heart mind. So when we feel inadequate, or we feel that we're lesser, or I'm not as good as them, I'm never going to be able to do that. That's ego mind. Or here's another one. I just can't stand that person. I don't use the word hate because it's too destructive. So they say I can't stand you. I can't stand that person. Deplorable. I just can't stand them. That's ego mind. Okay. When you walk with your God, you picture this. You're walking everywhere you go. Your God is with you. That's obvious. Okay. And see, you're walking with your God. You're walking with your pure consciousness. And see, our whole journey is coming full circle and completely connecting with our pure consciousness. Okay? And then we're in a much different space and capacity where we're able to literally create as we go without a second thought, without worry, without fear, without stress, without anxiety, where we just withdraw ourselves. And we've all done it through this life. None of us are exempt from it. Where we get, there's been times in our life where we get super depressed and despondent, and we come down on ourselves. That's all ego mind. And people say, well, no, it's my emotional areas. It's coming from my heart. Yeah, it is. But the ego mind is instigating it. Would you prefer to have the emotions of love and joy and bliss of that which is within you rather than the other ones? Obviously. I haven't come across anybody yet who says, oh, no, I want the miserable, the miserableness, I want that. I want to be miserable and unhappy and stressed, and fearful, and worried. And here, picture yourself just for a moment, visualize yourself that you have nothing. You've lost everything. You have zero, blanco. You don't know. You have no idea where you're going to have any food. You have no idea how you're going to protect yourself from the elements. You don't have a clue at that very moment. Now, let's do two different people. The one who is in bliss and joy and peace and is in the flow, going with the flow, downstream thinking, in the canoe with no oars. And they're just, even though they've got all this around them going on, they're very calm and they're happy. and they have no worry that the universe will deliver them what they desire. Things will come into being almost immediately. And now you have the other being, the other person, who is the opposite: worried, stressed, feared, absolutely distraught, just falling apart at the seams, crying, miserable, frightened. Now, which one of those people is going to end up in a happy position and a deep gratitude position, and which one is not? Figure it out. Pretty simple. It's the one that's in tumultuous situation emotionally and is worried, fretting, and fearing, and scared to death, frightened of their current position. That's the one that's going to continue to have those things occur and take a very long time before they find shelter and happiness and joy and comfort and relaxation. But they spend all that time attracting more and more. And remember, we're all magnets. We're these super powerful magnets. And every single time that we do a thought or embrace a thought, we're bringing it we're moving energy into form and creating it. You cannot not. You cannot not do that. You cannot turn it off. You see? It is constant. It is eternal. It is something that we are of. And that is creators. We are absolutely creating every split second. And you can't talk enough about this because it's so imperative for us to understand and comprehend it so that we can literally embrace our understanding of saying, well, before I embrace any thought, I'm going to know what it is I'm embracing and what it will manifest into or create into reality. You see, we don't do that. They just come in. They don't stop. They just keep coming. And so when we are in that goop, we're just like these massively powerful magnets contracting more and more and more and more and more. Have you ever noticed where you'll see someone interact with someone, who's constantly in turmoil, constantly something's happening. They go, everywhere I turn, something always is happening, and it's not positive. Why is my life this way? Why am I broke? How come I'm having these health problems? Why is everything hitting me at once? It never seems to end. It's always coming at me, and it's never positive. Reason for that is because of what they just said. They continue to create that which they desire not to have from their emotions and their anxieties and their fears, which are all thoughts. And we feed that on a daily basis. That's why, so many people, you look and you go, and you can tell, a lot of people you can't tell on the outside that they're happy. Because maybe they walk around, they look serious or something. But on the inside, they're laughing and they're just full of joy. So you really can't tell on the surface. You see a lot of people that are all bubbly and everything on the surface. A lot of the times, those people are miserable inside, but that cover, that front that they give off, they make people think that they're the opposite of what they truly are. The cover of the book hides the contents of the book. It doesn't explain the contents. It masks the contents. So you remember that as times continue to shift here on this planet, and you don't judge it, and it's an old saying, we've all heard it, don't judge a book by its cover. And we shouldn't be judging at all. But we do have a tendency to do that, is to judge others. That is a deep negativity, and it also attracts more negative vibrational frequencies. It's like getting out of it. You know, your ego does that. Where does that motivation for judgment come from? It comes from your ego mind. See? And then when you'll get to a point where you'll go, no, I'm looking at this person just as they are. I am not passing any judgment whatsoever. And you'll find that you'll gravitate away from it. And you'll also find that you'll be lighter. And you won't be so miscombobulated. Because it affects us when we judge others. It affects us when we judge ourselves. And, you know, the words that we use attract as part of the magnetizing, okay, of the thoughts that we create into reality. So, when you think something, you have embraced the thought. Now, how do you walk through the thought, or let the thought pass through you without you holding on to it and bringing it into reality? You just basically say all these crazy thoughts that come into your mind, and we all get them. Sometimes they're like relentless, just banging us. The craziest, most ridiculous, low frequency, fearful, scary thoughts that come in, and we just say, pass through me. Ooh, walk right through me. I'm not gonna create you into reality. I don't care to, period. So the thought will go right through you. And you'll feel it go through you, but it's not going to be disruptive because you just let it go before you grab it into reality. So what we do is in any of these crazy thoughts that come in, and they're usually negative most of the time in one way, shape, form, or another, we just let them pass through us, period. Any troubles, problems, situations that occur with you, walk through it. Literally, walk through whatever it is that you're in turmoil about. It's usually emotion. It's usually something dealing with fear, anxiety, or stress that's actually catapulted itself into reality from you grabbing different things and responding certain ways through the ego mind externally. Things that you embrace externally that cause you to become upset, irritated, and disgruntled with yourself to begin with. Then, of course, it ends up onto others. So, and this is assisting the whole civilization. And remember, everything that we do helps every one of us. Now, whether we're actually cognizant of that is neither here nor there, because we lift everyone as we discover many of these things that we were totally in the dark about, and we aren't anymore. And every single day we're waking up continually to ourselves. And you wake up to yourself, not anything else. What happens when you wake up? You look around, you see things. Just imagine yourself waking up to yourself, to within, waking up, clearing your eyes, stretching, yawning, taking a couple of nice deep breaths and exhales, waking up to yourself. Have you ever done that? What does that actually mean? Well, what it means is that when you wake up, you kind of use the analogy when you wake up in the morning, and you stretch, you yawn, you take deep breaths, you kind of look around, and you know, maybe you look at your hands, your arms or something, and you just kind of, yawn and stretch. That's waking. Look at that and gear it towards waking up to the God you are. Visualize that. That you wake up to yourself. It's really important that we wake up to ourselves. Every day. Every time you get up, you're waking up to yourself, to the God within you, to the pure consciousness. Your focus gravitates to there. Eventually, it's all that there is recognizing and merging with your pure consciousness, connecting with it. So you become one with it. And we label the pure consciousness as the God within you, the kingdom of God, the pure consciousness. And so when we begin to embrace that, and we awake, we become awake to ourselves. We awaken to ourselves, which is the God within us, which is the pure consciousness. Can you imagine that every single one of us on this planet, the billions of us, moved into the reality and the understanding, since we're supreme reality? And every time we woke up, we embrace the God within us. That's what it becomes automatic. The pure consciousness. We awaken every single day to the God within us, the pure consciousness, without fail. And as we practice it, have you ever noticed when you wake up in the morning, you're really in a very brief moment, you're not thinking about a thing. There's that little space where you're not thinking about a thing. And a lot of us aren't cognizant to it, but some of us are. Some of us we just kind of sit there and go, there's nothing. There's no thoughts coming in. It's total silence. You're just being. And then, of course, everything starts kicking in, and then that goes away. But we are all awakening. Some of us are awake to our pure consciousness, the God within, and we're pursuing it through the journey within ourselves to become one with that pure consciousness, that God. Others of us are beginning to, and then others are totally asleep. And it's just, how do they wake up? They wake up because more and more of us are embracing the God within us. We are awakening to ourselves. It's a different way. When we wake up in the morning, we're not awakening to ourselves, we're awakening to everything around us. And that's how we're trained, to awaken to everything around you. Instead of looking within, what do? We look everything around. We look around in the bedroom, and we look around and says, okay, well, all right, better get going. You know, and then all the thoughts start rushing in. So, this is meditation, is you awaken to yourself. So if you will, we'll go to the place where we're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we are. And the first thing that we want to do is relax our bodies. Relax them. And I like using the analogy of the hammock between two beautiful trees. You're lying there. There's a little slight breeze. Not too warm, not too cool. And you hear the leaves kind of fluttering a little bit. You might hear a dog off in the background barking. And, you might hear a lawnmower or something like that. Smell some, outdoor cooking in the air. And you do not move. Your body is completely relaxed. You don't have even a thought coming in. There's no ego mind noise. There's no subconscious noise. You don't have even a thought of worry. You're just suspended in nothingness. form or another, maybe we're kids, have experienced that. We just haven't given it much thought at the time and after. But in that hammock, when you feel that light breeze, the sun's kind of flickering through the leaves of the trees, and you're just absolutely in peace. You have no judgments, nothing. And this is exactly relaxing the body, relaxing the mind, relaxing everything. It's not there. So the body responds and just goes limp. It doesn't move. You have no motivation to move an arm, a leg, your body. You just lay there. You just lie there. And as we do that, as we relax the body, we move into the now. And the now is all we have. We don't have the past is over. We don't have the future isn't even here. All we have is the now, the moment. Always the moment, always the now. And in that now, and in that moment that we're all in right now, we're in constant deep gratitude for that moment. And we're focused on what we're doing in that moment, moment to moment. So we literally train ourselves to focus only on the now, only on the moment. And the moment is fleeting. It's just every single moment, everything you're doing in the now, that's what you focus on. That's what you're deeply grateful for. And you follow that. We don't go into the past. Some of us go into the past. Some of us go into the past and we embrace the past. Reminisce, very seductive. It's real enjoyable to relive things that you'd experienced in the past that were joyous and happy and fun. And then what you do is we take the past and we drag it into the future, and then in the future we create our future from the past, which is dead, and then we relive the past and in the future that we created from the past. Not really recommended to do that. This is why some people feel that they just keep going in circles their whole lives. We don't go in the future because we're creating our future in the now. And when we go with the flow, and we really don't have any concern, attachments, or expectations, that's when everything flows with you instead of against you. It flows with you. It comes to you rather than evade you. Because you're actually pushing it away when you are not in the flow, you're not in non-attachment and non-expectation. So you reverse your field into positivity, into relaxation, into ease. And you just automatically know that you exist in an absolute premium, abundant atmosphere everywhere. The universe is filled with abundance, everything. And you literally cannot not attract everything you desire. So also, in the now, we still the mind. We still the ego mind. All that chatter that we get, all that noise of just thousands, tens of thousands of thoughts, dissipate, go away. They retreat. Same with subconscious mind. And we're in the space between heartbeats. We're into total joy and bliss and happiness and easy going and not fighting a thing. Now also, we, in relaxation, in being relaxed, we want to breathe. And we want to breath in through the nose and breath out through the mouth. And as we do this, visualize, okay? Visualize your breath as you pull it in. Visualize your breath as you pull it in. And visualize your chakras that run up through the center of your body. All your chakras. If you want, you can identify colors. Okay? But you look at the root chakra. And the root chakra is I am. And it's kind of a pinkish red. And let's start with the root chakra as we pull in our breath. And as we pull in our breath, we go from the root chakra and we feel it as we pull it in. Very easy. And we go from the root chakra to the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra is sensuality, sexuality, pleasure, sociability. The sacral chakra is I feel. The root chakra is the first chakra we pull the breath through, which is I am. Then we go to the sacral chakra, which is I feel. Then we move to the solar plexus chakra, which is I do. Feel the breath pulling up. We have the root chakra viewing red. We have like a orange with the sacral chakra. Then we go to a kind of a yellow with the solar plexus chakra. Then we go to a beautiful emerald green with the heart chakra, I love. And then we go to a beautiful kind of a indigo blue throat chakra, I talk. Feel the air as you're pulling it up through these chakras in the center of your body. And then we go to the third eye chakra, I see, which is a beautiful violet purple. It's a bluish violet color. And then we go right to the crown chakra, I understand. This is the knowledge, consciousness, fulfillment, spirituality. And that's that's more of a royal purple, violet purple. And feel it go all the way up, pull it all the way up. You feel your muscles and your body moving it, and then it ends up right in the back of the head. And for a split second, you hold it. I am light, I am love, I am. And it condenses and compresses it into pure liquid energy. And then you release it over your pineal gland. And picture the pineal gland, you can picture it as a prune or a bud, the rosebud. And as you release this pure liquid energy over the pineal gland, it begins to bloom. It begins to expand. And you want to do this at least 6 times while I'm talking. And as you do this, you feel it. Feel the air go up through the chakras as you breath in and pulling it up and then compressing it into pure liquid and then releasing it over the pineal gland. And it's just like a rosebud that all of a sudden it starts to bloom and then it gets bigger and then it gets bigger and then it's in full bloom. Except it doesn't dissipate after it's full bloom. And our pineal gland is the gateway to all the particles of existence. The pineal gland is the gateway to our pure consciousness. It is the gateway to all things. So it's very important to us while we're in these bodies. So this emotion that we do, it isn't just visualizing, it is enacting it. So as we do that, we are formed into one. The body, the pure consciousness, and the heart-mind. We're all one. We merge. Of course, we have the ego mind. The ego mind tries to sit there and tries to literally convince us and pull us. We know that, and we know how to readjust the ego mind by literally having it take a seat, because we know we are in charge. We are the master, and we are the commander. And it takes a seat. And then we have many others with us. Doesn't it make sense, since we're all one, that we call upon other parts of us, other parts of the pure consciousness of the God of creation, to assist us, to be with us, to participate in this meditation with us? And we know that those that we reach out to, all of us are of the highest of deepest eternal love and the highest of deepest eternal gratitude, and we are of the highest and from the highest of deepest eternal love and the highest of deepest eternal gratitude. We wouldn't be able to be in this meditation if our frequencies weren't there. We would not. So all of them, we look at the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, all of them, this is a civilization that vibrates at a higher frequency than we do. This is why we don't see them like we see ourselves. They're with us all the time, as we're with them all the time. We're one. They can surround us, up 50, 60,000 of them can surround us. They take a very small amount of space in large number because of their frequency. They're always with us. They're always giving us suggestions. They're wonderful. We have the Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Jesus, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thought, and many, many, many more. Now, they've ascended out of physical form into God form, which is pure consciousness. Where do we go when we leave the body? We go into pure consciousness. Now, we have ascended into body to experience physical form. So we brought our pure consciousness into the bodies, as the Ascended Masters have done, as we all have done many times. We also call out to all of the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And they're part of us, and we're part of them. We also call upon all of the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, beneath earth, Agartha. All of these civilizations, many, 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 many of them. And they are with us. We call upon all the galactics, off-worlders. D-Line, Zeta Reticuli, Golden Pyramid, Apian, Saturnian, Pleiadian, Andromedan, Arcturian, all of these civilizations. And understand, we're all one, we're all connected, we're all part of pure consciousness, we were all created out of pure consciousness, and they're with us. Now, they've assisted us in our evolution, in our ascension, in our enlightenment, and freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. We also call out to our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. And we call out to all the light energy beings that are in all things, on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, in this now, in this meditation. And just to name a few of them, we have the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trolls, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur. Many, many, many more. And they come in the trillions. Color, shape, sizes, forms, configurations of which we've not seen hardly any of them before. So visualize all of us. We have all the light energy beings. They're here in the googolplexes. One googolplex fills this universe. They come in the trillions from every direction. See how far we expand, how far we continue to intensify. It's everywhere. There is no sacredness of space that is not filled with our God light energy. And all of us together are consciously aware that we are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. And we're all in full compassion, non-ego, non-negativity, non-judgment, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And all of us, arm in arm, hand in hand, all of our gods with all of our gods, are now together in this meditation, in this circle of light that we have all now formed, in this now, on this planet, in it, on it, above and below it, Earth, Gaia. Visualize that because it's absolutely spectacular. And so as we all are connected, we create this massive circle of light. And the circle of light is actually everywhere. Not just around this planet Earth, Gaia, but everywhere. It literally lights up all the darkness. It expands. It continues to intensify. All of us, as we begin to move upward, as we begin to levitate, there's a gossamer field. It's not just with Earth, it's everywhere. It is filled with vibrant colors and reflections of trillions and trillions of colors. It is pure glitter everywhere. And it reminds all of us, the emerald green healing light, flaming emerald green healing light of Archangel Raphael reminds us that this is a column, that we are all the power of healing. We have the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This reminds all of us of our power, of our strength and resolve. And all of us, if we choose, we lower our vibrational frequencies to such an extent that we allow the lower dark matter frequencies to invade, and then we are reminded of the purple transmuting flame. Brilliant flashes of purple, deep. No purple that you've ever seen before. And we know that we can bring this purple transmuting flame in when we lower our vibrational frequencies, and it can transmute everything into neutral light substance, and it literally sends it back into the pure consciousness where it is no more. We also have the violet ray. And the violet ray, this reminds us, this column reminds us that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, and we can literally lift the area up into the higher and higher vibrational frequencies of deep eternal love and gratitude. And we are literally rebalanced. And our white fire is full. And it is the highest of highest highs of the deepest of eternal love and gratitude. And we all are. And we all together are one. We have the golden white pink light. All of us know this column. It reminds us of who and what we are. We are out of pure love and pure gratitude. We are pure consciousness. We are omnipotently powerful. We are supreme immortal existence. And we all continue to intensify, and we all continue to expand. Now, when we look around and we see all of our creations, we see this massive tower, this column. It is larger than the solar system. And how is this column made up? It is made up of all of our pure consciousness. And that pure consciousness literally is a golden ocean that cascades down from this column. And it saturates all of us, all civilizations, all planets, all universes. It is massively constructed by the pure consciousness, the kingdom of God, the gods that we are, right in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. All of those on this planet, inside, outside, above and below, are being continually saturated with this pure, deep, eternal love and gratitude. You cannot not be affected by it. It cannot be abated. It cannot be stopped. It continues to intensify, continues to expand. We are all of us gathered, we are all of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitude, and the highest of deepest eternal love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere, and it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. It is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And we are all the one. And we are all the love. And we are all the God, the pure consciousness. And we look and we see this massive meditative sphere. It's at center of our circle. And it houses all of our meditations in perpetual motion, well over 800 meditations. We created this sphere over 2 years ago. The purest and the highest of vibrational frequencies of deep eternal love, pure consciousness, deep gratitude. This is why it can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify each and every day. And it continues to expand. We see Earth Gaia. We feel, experience, all life, all of our brothers and sisters, on and above and below, this planet Earth, this Gaia, in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. We all are awakened to ourselves. We are awakened to the gods that we are, the pure consciousness that we are, the supreme creators that we are, the supreme reality that we are. We are awakened to ourselves, the kingdom of God within us, the pure consciousness. And all those on this planet, Earth, Gaia, on this now, in this meditation, this circle of light, are all awakening as well. They cannot not be affected. They are all being risen, elevated, harmonized into the highest of the highest highs of the deepest eternal love and gratitude. We are awakened to ourselves. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. easy, lightly. Move slowly. Be. Be in the moment. Awaken to yourself, pure consciousness within, the God, the kingdom of God within you, the bliss, the joy, the peace. You awaken to yourself, you awaken to all of you. Pure consciousness, the God, the heaven, the gentleness, the kindness, generosity, the humbleness, the bliss, the joy, the peace, the tranquility and benevolence. Embrace it. Walk with it. From this day forward, take it with you into the night, into the following morning, and walk with your God by your side always. We'll be back here May 24th, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2020, Sunday, to continue our global guided meditation call.